It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Nation newspaper, and the major story here says, Tinubu is best prepared ever for president, says Akonde. Tinubu is best prepared ever for president, says Akonde. A writer here says, expect 50-year master plan from incoming administration, what to do economy. All right, you find all the details on the front page of the Nation newspaper. We move now to the front page of the Leadership newspaper. National Assembly leadership. Anxiety heightens as APC governors meet today. Anxiety heightens as APC governors meet today. And some writers here, aggrieved aspirants reject Deputy Speaker offer. Don't bow to pressure, stakeholders counsel Tinubu. All the details on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. To the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, Senate indicts Justice Ministry over 10.4 billion naira judgment debts. Senate indicts Justice Ministry over 10.4 billion naira judgment debts. You find all the details on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the Guardian newspaper, 17 years after Paris Club relief, external debt rises to $41.8 billion. 17 years after Paris Club relief, external debt rises to $41.8 billion. All the details on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. We'll move now to the front page of the Blueprint. Book launch. I embedded journalists to counter Boko Haram propaganda. Book launch. I embedded journalists to counter Boko Haram propaganda. Burate speaking there. It will be unfair to disparage the nation's armed forces. Irabo speaking. And Jibrin Ndachi has made me proud. All right, Blueprints publisher also speaking with regards to the book launch there. We'll move now to the Punch newspaper. States paying governors jumbo pension owe 3 trillion naira debt. States paying governors jumbo pension owe 3 trillion naira debt. TUC wants governors to pay workers arrears, experts flee jumbo packages. All the details on the front page of the Punch newspaper, Mike.
All right, I have the business day here, and it says business is grown as CAC portal creaks rather. That's a big story there. Business is grown as CAC portal creaks. All right. Okay, that's business day. Business AM, on the other hand, is saying Nigeria to see record foreign capital inflow in second half of 2023 and 2024. Okay, that's what business AM has. This Nigeria, $800 million loan. No. Serap writes World Bank to suspend disbursement to Nigeria. Buhari's massive borrowing reverses debt relief gains. That's what you see on the front page of this Nigeria. The Abuja Inquirer is next. Anxiety in Abuja, FEMA warns residents of critical weather. It predicts flooding, deadly thunderstorms. Okay, that's what Abuja Inquirer has. And then from there, let's go to national economy. Organized private sector's headache over tax burden continues. Economists, industrialists say government's policies inaction hurting the economy. Okay, that's what national economy has. Daily Trust, on the other hand, is saying basket of tomato costs 70,000 naira in the south. Price triple in Lagos, FCT, Kano, Rivers, Enugu, and others. And housewives resort to paste dried varieties. And farmers blame pest attacks, production costs. Okay, now let's move to Nature News. Nature News is on climate change and is saying concern over 2023 famine prediction. Concern over 2023 farming prediction. All right, that's what the Nature News has. Energy Times is the last one we're looking at now. The fraud that nailed Maman Sali. Okay, That's what Energy News has there. The fraud that nailed Mama and Sally, the former Minister of Power. All right, Veronica?
All right, Mike. Mike, let's quickly look at the story on the front page of the Punch newspaper, talking about 18 states paying governors jumbo pension, or about 3 trillion naira debt. About no fewer than 18 state governors will be retiring, according to the report, into a life of luxury, despite the fact that they are owing some of their workers' salaries and arrears and all of it, as it's been reported, and that the debt they will be contributing or leaving behind for their successor is about 3.06 trillion naira for the incoming administrations, and this is coming from these 18 states. And so there are warnings from the TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress. You are retiring into this luxurious life, but you are not paying the arrears of your workers, and even the Debt Management Office is raising concerns with regards to that. And you recall that this matter of jumbo packages as retirement for some of for governors has been a matter on the front burner for some time.
Yeah, we've seen this in the last 10 years. These have been on in some states. The states that didn't have that template are also trying to get into that template now, where when governors retire, they're entitled to, some of them are entitled to, 4 cars in every 4 years. They're entitled to 4 cars in some of the proposals that have been put forth. Then the governors will be entitled to about six maid. Their deputies will have about 4 maid. It's classified, in categories like that for different things. But if you look at it critically, what will anybody use 4 cars for? Right? Because we think, or we see, Nigerians feel that when you come in as a governor, or you come in as a president, or whatever you're coming
to serve.
You're coming to serve the people. You're coming to ensure that the skill that you learned, either in the private sector or in the public sector, whatever the thing is, you are going to use it to galvanize the resources for the benefit of the people. That is what is expected. So when they leave office, we understand in most of the states, there is also a severance package where you're given this to say, thank you for all your services, bye-bye, and that's it. In a situation where governors are now trying to send proposals or bills to the House of Assembly for it to become a law that every 4 years they'll be giving cars, a house will be built for them.
The states they are no longer serving should still be servicing them, taking care of all their luxurious life. I don't think that's fair.
No, it's not fair by any means.
Yeah.
It's not fair by any means. The issue of trying to create a case for a situation like that where, somebody who was governor before should not become... No, that's not the thing.
You've served your
time. The point
time.
there is that you've served it, you came to serve. And we also expect that you would have been working, you would have been busy, you would have been doing something before you got into
office.
Into office of the governor or the president or whoever the office that you're occupying. So at the end of your tenure as governor, we expect you to go back into what you were doing before.
Right.
In fact, most of those persons, we even advocate that they go to the higher institutions to start learning, to start teaching. Because your experience in governance will help a great deal in building and shaping and mentoring young leaders and young people who are aspiring to become leaders or to become policymakers or to become anything.
Absolutely.
That is what is expected.
Absolutely.
So a situation where such kind of persons are still expecting that the states be paying them monies and paying them gratuities and paying them all of the things they are paying them, even up until their whole lifetime, I don't think it's fair.
This is why some Nigerians have often said that we need to make some offices unattractive, because of how we see the do-or-die affairs leading up to the election. It is because of all of these benefits.
Yeah, but it's going to be challenging to say you make an office unattractive. Unattractive in what context? And we've heard Nigerians say that. But the point there is that when you are in the office as a governor, you should have access to the resources that you're going to work with.
Of course.
When you are in office as a lawmaker, as the case may be, there are resources that you're supposed to use to run your office.
That's fine.
So all of those things are there. So what we expect is that there should be a mechanism in such a way that whether EFCC, NFIU, or any of those agencies, as the case may be, to be able to monitor the system enough in such a way that it becomes difficult and challenging for monies to be siphoned from public funds. Now, we've seen the new policy that has been made, that as state governors cannot withdraw monies cash from the public funds anymore. So we expect that things like that, mechanism like that will be, checks and balances will be.
But you know how it is in Nigeria, that we will always find a way to beat the system.
No, the point there is because we allow the system to be beaten. If you don't want the system to be beaten, for instance, so long as you transfer money through the system anywhere in the world.
Wasn't that why we had the Treasury single account?
Exactly.
But so what are we still seeing?
Very good. So that's what I'm saying. The point there is that it is only way we allow, or we want the system to be beaten. If you don't want it to be beaten, it will not be beaten. Right? Because so long as you say, okay, what is the allocation for, say, state A? You have transferred the monies to state A, whatever is allocated to the state, or you due the state, you've sent the money in. And you say, okay, whatever transaction that you're carrying out, whether contract, whether salaries, whether gratuity, whether pension, whatever the thing is, you have to ensure that you do it through the system. There has to be a transfer. Don't withdraw cash so that it can be monitored. If that is the situation and it is adhered to, of course, why not? We will know how much went into what and how much went into what. Number two will be the issue of the inflation of the funds or costs or prices, as the case may be.
Budgets.
Of the budget. Because if you say, okay, this road construction is supposed to be, originally, we would know that it should cost maybe 1 billion naira. We've seen instances where it could be recorded that it is 3 billion naira, where the monies will officially be transferred to the contractor, and then there's a way the money comes back somehow. You won't know that one again, so long as he has left. So the issue there is governance is quite a complex situation, right? It's a complex endeavor, but there has to be more complex mechanism to check and balance all of these systems. So that
because it's costing us a lot.
No, of course.
I mean, look at our debt profile, and the average Nigerian is not seemingly seeing the benefits of all of the borrowings that we have been doing over time. And we have always said looking at we have to look at cutting the cost of governance and all of it. So I believe something has to be done.
It was under former President Olusegun Obasanjo that our debts were forgiven. And we felt that, okay, now
we are good.
It gives us opportunity to start all over again. Now we're talking of about 77 trillion naira of debt. Okay, where is the corresponding development, investment in Nigeria? So these are the questions Nigerians are asking.
All right, we have to leave the conversation here now.